Okay, so good afternoon. My name is Jayla Clark. I'm a senior environmental studies major. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
And my name is Jasmine Stepney. I'm an environmental science major from Orlando, Florida.
Okay, so today we're just going to do just a quick two-question questionnaire. And the first question is going to read, how do you define environmental justice?
I would define environmental justice as protecting both the environment, but also keeping in account like the people that live in that environment. So making sure that even though you utilize sustainable practices, those people still have access to resources and they aren't being pushed out of their environment.
Okay. So I guess a follow-up question would be, how does social justice manifest itself from an environmental justice lens?
Um, I think similar to the first question, social justice, like I said, takes into account the people living in that space and their needs and requirements to survive. And I think an issue with a lot of sustainable movements now, or over the past 10 years, is that they don't take that into account all the time. They don't take into account the people that are already living there. So it creates kind of like this divide, right, where you have people who want to be sustainable, but then people who don't have the means to do that. So yeah, I think, did that answer the question?
Yeah, I think that answers the question.
Okay.
Okay, so going back to question one, your definition of environmental justice, do you think that sustainability has to be in a definition? Like, do you think you can have environmental justice without sustainability?
Sustainability in regards to like products or sustainable practices with people, or both?
Both, I would say.
I think that it's definitely possible, and I think that certain movements, specifically in Atlanta, like in the Weston area now, are taking that into account, sort of.
Yeah.
But I think whenever you introduce a new practice into an area, people in that area can't always adapt based on their resources and their needs. So I think there needs to be discussions with the people within that community about how to best introduce sustainability practices, and then enforce different like ways to do that.
Yeah, because going off your point, I think it does make sense to make sure that the people like in environments that are trying to create sustainability practices, like they might not like you said, the resources, they don't have the education, and they might not even have the will. You know what I mean? Like, because they could think that what they're going through is fine. Like, okay, like I've been here all my life, like generationally, so like I feel like we are in a good place. But there could be someone new coming in, just on the scope of gentrification, like coming in trying to introduce new things that not even that they wouldn't be willing to do, but it's just like you're coming in telling me that where I'm already at is a problem. So
exactly.
I think that your point makes sense, like approach.
Especially if you have people whose basic needs aren't even being met. Like if you have an area that's a food desert, right?
Yeah.
And people don't have access to like fresh food, like fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to tell them to recycle. It's like, well, like they can't even eat. So
yeah, it's
how
like you're trying to get to step C before A and B are even covered.
So it's just like, I don't think like, I think the purpose is generally like in a good place, but like the practice, like the way it's enacted isn't always like positive for the people there. So,
okay, so what are your thoughts on so you know how we just have the new dome? So you know how they always talk about like the radius around the dome.
Yeah.
So like what are your thoughts just about what the next steps are going to be?
Well, I've seen I don't know if it's like the official layout, but I've seen like the ideas of what's going to happen in that area. Essentially, like obviously the West End Trail's there now, and then they're going to create like a bunch of green space around the dome. And I think I went to like a few panel discussions where people were advocating for people who are living in the community.
Yeah.
But despite all of that, like the cost of living is going to go up. I mean, that people that live here are not going to be able to afford.
It's a $3 billion dome.
Here. Yeah. I think short term it may be okay, but long term, I think despite efforts, people are going to be pushed out.
And that's what I had a problem with, with our newly elected mayor. Like, I understand that, she went to FAM. Like, I get it, but I just don't feel like I want to put everything in until I'm, seeing results, for the people, the Vine City, the English Avenue, the West End communities, because it's just, it's not even being pessimistic, but it's, being realistic.
Yeah.
This is a $3 billion dome. We're getting, the Super Bowl in 2019. Next February, less than a year from now, we will have a Super Bowl. in the middle of Atlanta.
Exactly.
In the middle of those areas. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be any room for the people that are here already.
And then even if you look at the past, like looking at, I think it's the East Side Trail. It's the trail that's near Ponk City Market.
Yeah.
That whole area used to be...
Like, that whole Beltline, everything.
Yeah, that whole area has been gentrified, like, around the Beltline in itself.
Yeah.
So when you have the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and the Beltline here, like, no doubt the same thing is going to happen.
Yeah, and it's just like... I don't know, like, I want to think that everything's going to be fine, you know what I mean? But I know that Starbucks are about to start popping up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I've been seeing more and more, like, white people on bikes over the past few months. Like, it's
and
been
I know,
crazy.
like, my offer, like, after graduation is in Atlanta, so I know that, like, around, like, I'm just going to start seeing, I'm just going to be so sad because I'm like, oh, my goodness, this is, and I worked for Atlanta Housing Authority, like, over 2 summers ago.
Oh, cool.
And, like, I just got to know so much more, like, historically about everything that's been going on, like, you know, like, the projects that they tore down, which are now, like, really nice houses, but it's still Section 8, you know what I mean? But people don't know that because of, you know, what the outside of the homes look like. But, like, jurisdictionally, it's still Section 8. So it's just, like, it's so much that you have to actually research to know about, you know, what people are saying is going on. So, I mean, I think it will be definitely interesting developments coming up, but...
And, like, I always feel torn because, like...
Yeah, it's like you want to improve...
I'm an environmental science major, and I want, like, the environment to be healthy and sustainable, but then it's like, well, damn, you're pushing out my people. So, like,
no,
I don't know how to feel
literally.
about this shit.
And then I'm just like, I don't really know if... Like, I know that gentrification is bad just because of the environments that are being pushed out, but I don't think wanting to improve an area is a bad place, but I think the methodology, like we just I think the method is really, really important to how it should go.
And it's like... Typically, places like this don't get improved unless there's an idea that white people or even just like middle class or upper class people are going to move in. You know what I'm saying? Because like the West End's been this way forever, and the city didn't really give a damn up until the Mercedes-Benz Stadium got built.
I'm so scared about like Lee Street and like Abernathy. Like I am so nervous about that.
I can't imagine what it's going to be like coming back like to homecoming and stuff 10 years from now. And,
no,
like,
we're going to be crying.
It's going to be so weird.
I think I'm going to be honestly so upset just because I'm like, wow,
what's
like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, the West End is the West End, and, you know, it's spicy down there. I think it's going to be very, you know, very latte. Very, I think it's going to be very, it's going to be very latte. But, no, I really do appreciate you doing this
no problem.
little quick interview for me. So, yeah, this is Jayla, and this is Jasmine, and we're signing out.
Okay, bye.
Bye.